You're listening to The Goat Who Refused to Be Sacrificed, written and told by Purdy Brock Jenkins. This recording was made for listeners on YouTube Music, as well as social media networks around the world. It's a brand new folktale from the Purdyville Library. So go on and get comfortable. Grab a snack or seven. After all, 7 snacks are better than 1 or 3. Put your feet up and relax. A good book is always better with a good snack. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Clara was 9 years old when she met the goat who refused to be sacrificed. She'd just come from a dusty old book fair where a man with one eyebrow tried to sell her a poem that was still being written. She bought it anyway. It was only a nickel, and it came with a free feather. Clara had a good sense for things like that. Half-finished poems, suspicious goats, and moments when the grown-ups weren't telling the full truth. This particular goat had been tied to a post outside the village temple, where a crowd was gathering for what the banner called the Festival of Fire and Gratitude. There were balloons, folded chairs. One woman was selling churros. And right in the middle of it all was a goat with a name tag that said, "Hello, I'm the offering." Clara didn't like that one bit. The goat was white and shaggy, and had the eyes of someone who had once read a very long book and forgotten all of it on purpose. "Excuse me," Clara said gently. "Do you know what that sign means?" The goat chewed something invisible.
"I know what it says," he said, "but I haven't been told what I'm offering, and I think that matters."
Clara sat down beside him. "Your name's not really offering, is it?" The goat huffed.
"It's Alabaster, and I have dreams, you know. I wanted to write political essays for children."
Clara nodded. She knew that kind of voice. That was a voice getting ready to disobey something ancient. Up at the temple steps, the high priestess was unfurling a scroll the size of a canoe. Villagers hushed. Trumpets blared. Children clutched juice boxes reverently. "Friends and neighbors," the priestess bellowed, "today we will give thanks by returning a gift to the sky, a pure and noble beast, freely offered by the people to show our humility." The goat squinted.
"That's vague."
"What do they mean return?" Clara whispered.
"Either I'm going to space, or they plan on burning me,"
said Alabaster. Clara stood up, walked to the foot of the steps, raised her hand. "Excuse me, did anybody ask the goat if he wanted to be sacrificed?" The villagers chuckled nervously. The priestess blinked. "The goat has been chosen." "Yes," said Clara, "but has he agreed?" The crowd murmured. Alabaster nodded solemnly.
"Consent is important,"
he said very quietly. The priestess cleared her throat. "The gods require the offering. It is tradition." "So is sneezing into your elbow," Clara said, "but we still ask before spraying perfume in people's faces." There was a silence so awkward it could have earned a trophy. Then the goat sneezed.
"I think," he said slowly, "that I may no longer feel spiritually aligned with being immolated."
Clara turned to the villagers. "Wouldn't the gods rather get a gift someone gave on purpose?" The baker raised his hand. "Oh, I could offer some scones." And I have a kazoo I haven't used in months," added someone else. The crowd was warming. The high priestess looked at the goat, then at Clara, then at her scroll, which was now being nibbled by a pigeon. "Fine," she said, "but next time we're drawing names." Clara untied the rope around Alabaster's neck. He gave her a solemn nod.
"You saved my life," he said.
You saved it, she replied. I just gave it a microphone. The next day, Alabaster was famous. Not the kind of fame that wins prizes or sells hats. No, this was the awkward kind. The kind where people whisper when you walk past and smile at you like you're fragile glass. The kind where your mailbox fills up with letters from folks who want to be brave too, but only after you prove it safe. Alabaster didn't seem to mind. He had started wearing a scarf.
Rebirth demands accessories, he said.
Clara, meanwhile, was grounded. You interrupted a sacred rite, her dad said.
You embarrassed the high priestess,
her mom added. Clara explained the goat's perspective. Twice. Her parents said they understood. They also said she could do all that understanding from her room. But something strange began happening in the village. The sky got quieter. There were no surprise rainstorms, no gusts of wind knocking over garden gnomes. The birds sounded like they were whispering. Some people said the gouds were pouting. Some said they were waiting. One woman claimed she saw a lightning bolt pause midair and changed its mind. Clara wasn't afraid. She was curious. She took notes, drew maps, started a list called Things That Changed After the Goat Spoke Up. Item number 4. The priestess stopped yelling. Item number 7. Mr. Ramsley's eyebrows grew black. Whoa. Item number 11. The statue of the thunder god cracked a smile. Just slightly. Item number 14 was the strangest. Alabaster started glowing. Not blindingly, just a faint shimmer, like the kind you see on the edge of dreams right before you wake up. They met again behind the old bakery. Clara brought scones. Alabaster brought opinions.
Do you think I ruined the festival? He asked.
No, Clara said. I think you reminded people it's okay to want to live.
I didn't want to be rude.
You weren't. You were honest. Alabaster licked the scone and sneezed.
I've decided to run for local office.
As what?
Ambassador to all things unwilling.
Clara snorted. You'd win. That night the wind returned, not with thunder, not with fireworks, just a gentle swirl that lifted Alabaster's scarf and carried it 3 feet before setting it back down, as if to say, we see you. We were watching. Clara dreamed of a courtroom made of clouds, where gods wore sandals and argued about snack foods. Alabaster was on the stand. Why didn't you go along with it? Asked one god, peering through storm-colored glasses.
Because no one explained why it mattered, said Alabaster.
And would you do it again?
I'd ask more questions, he replied, and bring a better scarf.
Clara woke up laughing. By the following week, the temple banner had been changed. It now read, Festival of Thinking Things Through. Hot cider and respectful debate provided. The priestess even invited Clara to help plan the next ceremony. She declined. Too much glitter, she said. But she did send one suggestion on a scrap of paper. Ask before offering. Alabaster was last seen skipping town with a rooster who claimed he invented sunlight. But Clara knew the truth. Some animals leave to escape fate. Others leave because they rewrote it and want to see who else needs help holding the pen. Clara thought things might settle after that. But stories, especially the real ones, don't wrap up just because the hero untied the rope and the crowd cheered. The hardest part isn't speaking up. It's staying spoken. Alabaster knew that too. The village started holding regular meetings about tradition. Some were open mic. Some were full of pie. Some were full of pie throwing. But that was only once, and mostly by accident. Clara spoke at one. She didn't yell or wave her arms. She just told the story about a goat with dreams, about a girl who asked a question, and about how nobody's really free if the quiet ones still feel afraid. Someone in the back clapped before she was done. That was the first time she knew her voice could echo. Alabaster began teaching philosophy to sheep. It didn't go well, but he liked it.
The aim is not understanding, he said. The aim is wondering.
Clara visited his pasture sometimes, brought a notebook, asked a few questions. Some new questions, like, what do you do with your life after you save it? What if tradition evolves? Can a goat start a podcast? Alabaster didn't know the answers, but he never stopped chewing while he thought. Then, one early spring morning, the village temple caught fire. No one was hurt, but the scrolls burned. The statue of the thunder god cracked in two, right through the frown. The priestess stood before the crowd, holding only a single page that hadn't been singed. It was a recipe for spiced pears. She looked around. Well, she said, maybe it's time to start over. That's how the Festival of Fire and Gratitude became the celebration of questions and pudding. The only requirement was to bring something you made yourself. People brought poetry, hand-knit socks, paper airplanes shaped like doubts. Clara brought a story. Alabaster brought silence, and a head tilt that said everything. And when the priestess, who now preferred being called Marjorie, asked who they should thank this year, the crowd turned to the goat. He was wearing a new scarf, purple, regal, slightly itchy looking. Alabaster cleared his throat.
Thank yourselves, he said. You're the ones who listened.
That night, under a sky that refused to be owned, Clara wrote one more thing in her notebook. Just 3 lines. Courage isn't loud. It's tied to a post, asking to live. Truth isn't the fire. It's the thing that survives it. And every offering has a voice, even the ones that tremble. She didn't sign her name. She just left it on a rock for someone else to find. Someone quiet. Someone wondering. Someone ready to ask, why? That's all for now. If the story left something with you, keep it. Let it ride around in your thoughts for a while. These tales weren't meant to explain the world, just to notice it a little more kindly. And if you enjoyed being here, well, I'll be back with more stories, more questions dressed up like answers. Till then, take care of yourself and take care of the goats in your life. You never know when they'll come in handy. After all, goats eat garbage, and if you get a messy room, you could get a pet goat, and it could eat all your garbage. That way, your parents won't yell at you to clean up your room. The goats can just eat everything that's on the floor. Win-win for you and everyone. If this made you smile or feel something fuzzy and wonderful, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Also give me a comment. What ideas do you have for the next story? I'll keep telling stories if you keep listening. This has been Purdy Brock Jenkins, talking slow about things that move fast. I hope you enjoyed the story. It was a very good story. I especially liked the part where the goat tried to run for local office. Imagine having a goat as a president. He would sit in the Oval Office, and people would bring him garbage to eat. Maybe it'll make the environment better. Or maybe the White House would smell because of all the garbage he likes to eat. Do you think he would put ketchup on the garbage? Imagine delivering ketchup to the White House so the president goat could eat garbage and have it taste tastier. That would be yummy, right? Would you vote for a goat president? remember for next time that we need more snacks. A good book is always better with a good snack. See you next time, and have a sleepy Joe night. End of story.